Welcome and happy Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor. There was supposed to be an announcement video for this, but just things didn't work out, so I'm announcing it now with this video. I have some very exciting news for all you Hunger Games fans. This month on my channel will be month of Hunger Games. Every Thursday I will be posting a Hunger Games related video, whether it's a tag or a movie review or just something relating to the Hunger Games books and movies. It will be on my channel every Thursday starting today. As many of you guys know, the last movie in the series, Mockingjay Part 2, is coming out this month on November 20th, so that's why I decided to make this the month of Hunger Games on my channel. I am a huge Hunger Games fan of both the books and the movies, and it's something I've been looking forward to but also dreading at the same time, and so I thought this would be a really fun way to lead up to the movie being released and just, you know, getting behind and celebrating all that is Hunger Games. So I thought a good way to kick off this month on my channel would be doing an Ultimate Hunger Games tag! As far as I know, there's no tag like this on YouTube, so I am the creator of this tag. This is an original tag. This tag is filled with everything relating to the books, the movies, and everything in between. So let's get started on the questions. Question number 1. Rank the books from your favorite book to your least favorite book. Mine would have to be the first book, The Hunger Games, then Mockingjay, and then Catching Fire. I know most people would put Mockingjay last on this list, but for me, Catching Fire was just a little slow at the beginning, and I love Mockingjay. I mean, Catching Fire is just very slightly behind, but I did like Mockingjay a little bit better. There was more action and stuff going on. Question number 2. Rank the movies from your favorite to least favorite. Mine would definitely have to be Catching Fire, number 1. It's just, that movie was perfect. Like, in my opinion, that is the best adaptation of a book I have ever seen. Nothing can beat Catching Fire. And then after that, it is kind of hard because on the one hand, Hunger Games was good, but could have been better, and then Mockingjay Part 1 just didn't have a whole lot going on because, I mean, it is like kind of a setup movie. So I would have to say Catching Fire, Hunger Games, just because there was a little bit more action and stuff going on, and then Mockingjay Part 1. Question number 3. What's your favorite quote? There are many lines that I love from this book. It's so like beautiful and just like really touch me and everything, so I have to go with real or not real, real. It's just, oh, that part in the book gets me every time, so I love that. It's really cheesy. It's not like a deep quote. It's just the one that I always am like, you know about. Who's your favorite character? Gonna be cliche here. Katniss is my favorite character. I know a lot of people didn't relate to Katniss a whole lot in the books, but I really loved her character. I understood all the choices she made, and I think she's just an incredibly strong person who's dealing with a lot. And while she makes mistakes and maybe not the best decisions, she is always trying to do the best thing. She's just a great heroine and a great protagonist to read about and watch in the movies, but yeah, so Katniss. Question number 5. Who's your favorite tribute excluding Katniss and Peeta? For me, that would have to be Joanna. I love Joanna. She is just such a badass, but at the same time, she has just been destroyed, but she just keeps going, and she's cunning and ruthless, and she's just a kick-ass character. I love Joanna. Question number 6. What's your favorite scene from the books? This is a hard question because there are so many great scenes, but I would have to say the cave scene from the first book. That's just like where you really got to know Katniss and Peeta and see the relationship growing. That's just always been one of my favorite scenes. Question number 7. What's your favorite scene from the movies? I can't pick just one. I have 2. So my first one would be the reaping scene from the first movie. That was just, I love that scene, the way they did it. It was pretty much exactly how I pictured it, but better. The acting is just so on point, and the mood and the tone that they put in it was just amazing. I get chills every time I watch that scene. So that's my first one. And then my second one would have to be the fog scene in Catching Fire. That was just done so well. I have like looked forward to it so much, and I love the way they did it. It was so suspenseful, and yeah, I love that scene. Question number 8. Which district do you think you'd be in? Not which district you'd want to be in, but which one do you think you'd end up living in? For some reason, I just feel like I'd be in District 8, the textile district. I can just like imagine myself like sewing hours at a time in a factory. I don't know. And I mean, I know it's very different than fashion, but I like clothes, so I feel like it wouldn't be horrible. I just feel like I'd be in District 8. Question number 9. Which district would you least like to live in? That would have to be District 11. I know they're not as poor as District 12, but they're just treated so much worse. Like, the peacekeepers in District 11 are really harsh and brutal. And also, like, these people are still starving, but they have all this food around them. And I imagine that'd be a lot harder to be starving with food all around you than versus District 12, where they're starving, but at least they don't have like tons of food looking at them and having to like work around food all day and having to have the temptation of not eating the food. So I feel like District 11 will be a really not so great place to be in. Question number 10. Is there anyone you would volunteer for if they were raped? Oh, this is gonna sound bad, but no. There is no one I would volunteer for if they were raped. I mean, my little brother is only like 4.5. So first off, he'd be a ways away. So I probably wouldn't be able to volunteer for him anyways, because hello, age gap. Like, I'd be like 25 when I'm not good with math, but you get it. I'd be out of it. But then also, you know, I don't know how he's gonna grow up to be. He might be like a horrible little brother. I might hate him. So I might not want to volunteer for him. And then also, like, I'm not like Katniss, where I have at least some survival instincts, and I'm like, well, yeah, I might have a shot, but it's a small shot, and I know I'm dying, so I'm gonna be selfish and keep my life. Question number 11. What would be the skill you'd show the game makers? There's not many things that I'm great at that involve like fighting and survival skills and stuff, but for some reason I feel like I'd be good at like knife fighting, you know, like hand-to-hand combat with a knife. I don't know because I've never fought someone with a knife, so I can't really judge. But for some reason I just feel like I'd actually be pretty decent at knife fighting. So I'd go in there and, you know, like fight someone with a knife, get one of those sparring people and fight someone with a knife. I don't think I'd be good at throwing knives like Clove is, but I think I'd be pretty good at some hand-to-hand combat with a knife. So we're gonna go with that. Question number 12. What would be your strategy in the games? I would definitely pull a fox face. I would just like lay as low as possible and just try to keep myself hidden. Don't ally with anyone and steal really little amounts from people so they're not noticing. That would, I think, be the best thing for me. And Foxface is pretty cunning and she made it pretty far. She was what, the 5th one out? So she made it pretty far. I'd like to think that strategy would work for me. So yeah, I'd be stealthy and pull a fox face. Question number 13. Do you think you'd win the Hunger Games? If not, how soon do you think you'd be killed off? I would definitely not win the Hunger Games. I honestly think I'd be killed off in the first day or two. Probably the first day. I am not good with outdoors and bugs and stuff. And so for me, what would probably do me in is I'd be like hiding in a tree and a bug is on me and I see it and I scream and give away my location and dead. So yeah, I don't think I'd last very long at all in the games. Question number 14. If you had to pick an ally for the games, who would it be and why? It's kind of a toss-up between Katniss and Joanna. They're both really badass. They know how to use their weapons. They're smart and capable and everything, but I think I'm leaning slightly more towards Joanna just because she's so cunning, like with how in her game she pretended that she was this meek person who couldn't do anything and then turned around and kicked everyone's asses. So yeah, I think I'd have to go with Joanna. I just feel like she'd be like really clever and have this like really smart plan to get through. Question number 15. What's the one thing you wish they hadn't left out in the movies? Again, this is a question where I kind of have two, but one counts more than the other and you'll find out why in a minute. So the first one would be, I would have really liked to have seen more of the cave scene in the movie. As I said before, that's one of my favorite scenes in the books. They just really watered that scene down and there wasn't a whole lot to it. I mean, that's where Katniss and Peeta really bond, where you start to see them and be like, wow, you know, I think she really does care for him. Maybe not as much as he cares for her, but there's definitely something between them. And in the movies, yeah, it kind of did it, but it was just so much more in the books, and that was like one of the scenes I was like really disappointed with. So I'd have to say the cave scene. And then my other one is in Catching Fire, and this one I wasn't as upset about because I thought the movie was great, and I understood why they didn't have this scene in the movie just because of time issues and probably flow, but I really wanted to see Katniss and Peeta watching Haymitch's games. I love that scene and really getting to find out why Haymitch is the way he is and how he won his games. Though honestly, I wasn't like super heartbroken because if you haven't seen it, there is this YouTube channel called Mainstaypro, and they actually did a really wonderful high quality video of Haymitch's games. It was super well done, pretty well acted. The fighting and everything was really good in it, and so while there wasn't in the movie, this video kind of like tided me over. And so if you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link for it down in the description below because you really should see it if you haven't. Question number 16. Is there anything in the movies that you thought looked better than how you'd imagined it? As wonderfully descriptive as Suzanne Collin is, I could have never pictured the second arena looking that amazing. They did such a good job on it, and with how all the zones were and stuff, it looked so good. The coloring was like, this is so like nitpicky and stuff, but just like the coloring looked great. It was shot so well. It was just beautiful and exactly how I imagined it, but like 10 times better than how I had imagined it. Question number 17. What's your favorite shot of the movie? And when I say shot, I mean purely from a visual cinematography point of view. I don't know if you guys have this, like I'm kind of throwing this in because I have such an appreciation for cinematography, so I'm throwing this in because I like to say my answer. My favorite shot, just purely on how it looked, was in Catching Fire after Katniss shoots the arrow and explodes the arena, and she's being lifted up by the airlift thing, and it's just like a close-up on Jennifer Lawrence's face. That shot was amazing. It was shot so well. She somehow looked incredibly stunning even though she's supposed to have like been electrocuted, and like just like how it's like in slow motion and with the music and stuff. That is just, that shot was just amazing, and every time I see that I'm just like, I don't know the cinematographer's name, but nice job, dude. Nice job with that shot. Number 18, is there anything you'd want to change or add to the books? I know a lot of people were not satisfied with Mockingjay. Honestly, I love Mockingjay, so I wasn't super upset or anything about it. So there's not much I think I'd want to add to the books or change, but the one thing I would have liked to have seen more of in the books would have been a little bit more backstory on the tributes in the Quarter Quell. It's so interesting. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of their backstory on some of the other tributes that we didn't get to find that much about. So I think that would have been cool to see, but it wasn't like a huge thing. Question number 19. A casting for the movie that you immediately thought was perfect. For me, this question is so easy. It's Stanley Tucci as Caesar Flickerman. As soon as he was cast, I was like, yes, yes, like he was exactly who I had pictured and who I thought would be so great in that role. And they cast him, and I think they just hit the nail on the head for him. He was the one, like before, you know, I saw pictures or movie or anything, I was like, yes, he is perfect. He's exactly who I imagined Caesar Flickerman to be, so I was over the moon. Question number 20. A casting for the movie you initially didn't like or were hesitant about but loved after seeing the movie. There was no one that I like was cast and I was like, I don't know about that. But the one person I was a little hesitant about when they were cast was Sam Claflin as Vinick. I was a big Garrett Hedlund supporter, like I really wanted him to be Vinick. And so when Sam Claflin was cast, you know, I didn't really know who he was, and just like from the pictures they showed, I was like, you know, I guess, like, yeah, we'll see. And then, of course, like, you know, when the movie came out and the pictures and everything, I was like, yes, like, perfect. Like, I was so happy that they cast Sam after seeing the movie, but I was hesitant. I was a little hesitant at the beginning when he was cast. Question number 21. Is there a character you liked better in the movies than in the books? That would have to be Effie Trinket. As much as I did love her character in the books, I just thought Elizabeth Banks brought this whole new layer to Effie and made me absolutely love her in the movie. She's just such an insufferable character, but with Elizabeth Banks' portrayal, you can't help but love her. And like with all the costumes and the makeup and the voice, just added so much to Effie. And Elizabeth Banks' portrayal of Effie I thought was amazing. And so as much as I really liked Effie in the books, I absolutely loved Effie in the movies, and she's now become one of my favorite characters. Question number 22. What are you looking forward to seeing the most in the last movie? There's so many things I'm excited for in the movie, but probably the thing I'm most excited to see is once they get to the Capitol and they start setting off all the booby traps, just like everything that happens after that. I know that's very like vague and broad, but I just like all of that I'm so excited for. It was so action-packed, and like just from the trailers we've seen, like just the little bits we've seen of it, it looks so amazing and just so much happens, and I'm so excited for that. And the last question number 23. Can you do the whistle? No. I have never ever been able to whistle. I mean, like, this is the best I can do. See, it's really sad. I can't whistle, so no. Okay guys, well that was the ultimate Hunger Games tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are a fan of the Hunger Games and love the Hunger Games, you guys should definitely do this tag because it is so much fun. It is a great way to get pumped for the movie and also to say goodbye to this franchise. I'm gonna be so heartbroken after this is over. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, and if you are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, especially if you guys are fans of the Hunger Games, because like I said before, I will be posting a new Hunger Games themed video every Thursday this month, and you guys don't want to be missing out on that. I'll see you guys next Thursday, and remember, may the odds be ever in your favor.